Kidderminster Harriers will be flying the flag for non-league football on Saturday lunchtime when they welcome our beloved West Ham to the Agrabah Stadium for the fourth round tie in the FA Cup. The lowest ranked team left in the competition currently sit third in the National League North table. Guess how many places below West Ham? 112 places below West Ham, who occupy fifth in the Premier League. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton. I'm joined by Matt. This is your FA Cup fourth round preview. Matt, Kidderminster Harriers. We've been there. We've done it before. How are you feeling about it, mate?
At the moment, I'm not really.
He's don't know what you're thinking.
I think maybe tomorrow, like the whole cup thing, and I really hope because it's on TV. I really hope they actually make the effort. Like it is like an old school cup tie, isn't it? It is the David Goliath potential giant killing, and I really hope. I think is it BBC? It's on.
It is
like,
on
I really
BBC,
hope
mate. 12:30.
I hope they go all out. They turn up at the ground early. They they're up on some scaffolding rickety somewhere, and they spend an hour doing the build up. Because the team probably needs it. They probably need the interest, the money generated. But as a tie, I find hard to get motivated because they're in the sixth tier of English football.
But are you struggling to get motivated, mate? Really? I mean, it's the FA Cup fourth round. I mean, are you saying that on the back of a bad window, or the fact that West Ham haven't been playing for so long, or what?
You know what? It's a mixture of both. Probably is a mixture of both. Like considering we had such a long stretch of 2 games a week, we was playing twice a week for so long, and then we've had this big gap, and it was, you know what? I don't know. It was a bad, toxic mixture, wasn't it? That we went that long without a game, and then in the middle of that, the window come through. We all left deflated at the end of it, and then there's we could have signed this guy. This didn't happen. Whatever. It's just, and you know what? The only way to remedy it is to get back out there and start winning games again. That's the only way they can rectify what's been a slight drag on the season so far. I don't mean I'm struggling to get motivated because it's the fourth round of the FA Cup. It's just, the tier of opposition is in the politest way possible. Like if we actually turn up like David Moyes normally does, because he's been quite respectful of the cups, it should be an easy win.
Yeah.
Like, no offense granted, I'm sure they'll make it horrible. The conditions will be horrible. I'm probably some of these players have probably never walked into such a shoddy dressing room in all their lives. I remember playing Sunday League rugby, so I know what these sort of like dressing rooms going to look like, and some of them are going to be shocked and appalled at the standard they're walking into.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's the benefits and the advantage Kidderminster need. Like,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
It's just
maybe
motivation for.
Yeah. Let's get on and talk about Kidderminster Harriers, mate. They probably had, if not the biggest upset in the third round, when they beat Reading, Championship side Reading 2-1 on home soil last month. And they've done a good job of it, mate. And they've been starting their FA Cup journey since the FA Cup second qualifying round. You can see the games they've had here, and they've been on a fantastic winning run. Apparently earning upwards of nearly £1 million between all the games put together.
Which is brilliant.
Which is fantastic for them. Yeah. It is, mate. But listen, I mean, there's no beating about the bush. We're never going to know a lot about the team that is playing so far down the league. We tried to do a little bit of research into them. They're currently sitting third in their table. As you can see here, only 4 points off of top. They've been in the FA Cup since the FA Cup second qualifying round. They've beaten 6 teams to get to that stage: Sporting Kassel, Ware, Bedford Sports, Grimsby Town, Halifax Town, and Reading, just to name a mere few of the teams that they've played. They're one of 9 non-league teams in FA Cup history who have reached the 5th round of the competition since the end of the Second World War. They competed at this stage back in 1994 when they were eliminated by none other than West Ham. And let's take a look and see what happened the last time and only time the two clubs met when we played each other back in 1994. If anyone remembers that looping header from Lee Chapman, now I wasn't at the game, but I'll never forget looking at it and watching it. It was a kind of, obviously they were the trying to be the giant killers at the time. The ball got crossed in and he kind of puts his head onto it. It just goes really high up, doesn't it? And just kind of loops up over the top of the keeper, going to the back of the net. And they'll be looking to do another upset this weekend. Their manager, Russell Penn, he knows all about Kidderminster. He's been there for several years, played with the club, now managing the club. What do you know, if at all anything, Matt?
Literally nothing. I'm not going to lie. I tried to do research for this and I was struggling.
Yeah.
Not going to lie, literally, yeah, I've nothing.
Oh, mate, he's not done his homework, everyone. You need to get onto him.
Mate. I'm not going to lie. I've tried to do research for this.
I'll give it to you now.
That was like he's with 11 goals.
He's got
11
you have
goals
done your
and 2
research
assists
then.
in 26 games.
Yeah, he's an experienced winger. Ashley Hemmings. He's the club's top goal scorer this time with 11 strikes to his name. He's set to start alongside Sam Austin and Omari Sterling James. Let me just see if I can get him for you. There you are, Sterling James, who's also been on reasonable form in an advanced role in behind the striker, Morgan Smith. There are other players they've got in their team. Preston, he's in on loan on a 2-month loan. He's a big, towering central defender who's been brought in to come in and shut up shop in their defence. And their keeper is Simpson. I mean, we're not going to know a lot about this team, but when it comes to the game in the FA Cup, mate, I mean, it's got the potential to be a banana skin. How are you feeling about it?
You know what? Old West Ham, I'd be very, very worried. And I think I said in the draw, I was like they were like one of the 3 teams I didn't want was Kidderminster Harriers because of the very big potential banana skin thing. But David Moyes has, we said it before, he's changed the way we approach games, the mentality, and I if this was a Bilic, a Pellegrini, even a Big Sam, I'd expect probably 5 or 6 kids to go out there tomorrow. But Moyes has shown Moyes will probably put 7, 8 of like the first team squad in starting 11 tomorrow. And realistically, that should be enough to see it through. Like it should be a few hairy moments of a banana skin try that we end up comfortably winning.
Yeah. Now, they're so far down the league, they've got absolutely nothing to lose. Your Kidderminster Harriers manager tonight. Game kicks off at 12:30 tomorrow. What are you saying to your players?
Exactly that. You've literally got nothing to lose. You might as well go out there, go gung ho, give it your best, give it your all, leave nothing out there. Just see, because at the end of the day, if we turn up there tomorrow, and no offense, I think we've done it. I want to say, I don't know, it was a couple of years back at London Stadium. We put 8 past someone. If we go there tomorrow and put 8 on 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 past them,
was it Macclesfield?
Yeah, might be that game I was thinking of. Yeah, and if we turn up and put 6, 7, 8, 9 past them, what does it matter? Nothing. They're in the sick. You said there's 100 or how many places between the two teams?
112 positions. Yeah.
One of our players probably costs more than their entire squad combined. One of our players probably earns more than their entire squad combined. They're literally got nothing to lose. Like, it's all on us. It's all on West
Yeah.
Ham tomorrow.
Yeah.
If we don't turn up, we don't get it right, we lose. It's an embarrassing humiliation, and it's another cup dropped. But the content of the game will make it 10 times worse.
Yep.
If we go out there and score 6, 7, 8, 9 goals, you're not going to get any plaudits for it. It's like, well, yeah, great, you beat a bunch of guys that probably play semi-pro and go work a 9 to 5 during the week and play football on the weekend.
But let me remind you of another occasion, though. Saturday's tie marks the second season in succession that Moyes' side have faced non-league opposition in the FA Cup. Craig Dawson's header took us past National League outfit Stockport County in the third round in January 2021.
And that was, again, very similar. Banana skin tie.
Yeah.
I think Stockport's was a bit different. I think they were like, was it Conference Premier or whatever, and they just dropped out of the Football League not long before.
Yeah.
This is like the league. This is the Conference North. This is like the league below the conference. This is like another league down from that. So it's, yeah, look, as I said, it's that they've got nothing to lose. If they, you know what, if they score, if we go out there, we squeaky bum time snatch a 2-1 win, they'll be over the moon.
Mm.
The only thing I'm probably upset about for them is that, one, it's not our ground, and two, they can't get a potential replay because if I'm right in thinking, there is no replays this year.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So,
but yeah,
they don't get that pig. They can't. You know, at this stage, this round of this sort of early days of the cup, the little teams either want the win or they want that draw for the big return on the away day for the money. So hopefully they generate enough interest and they get a good payday out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, though. Let's. I'm going to jump into the chat actually and see what everyone's saying, and we'll come on to West Ham in a second. He said we need to play more better football. Come on, West Ham. Jay saying I've been West Ham supporter since 2007, and West Ham come up and down and down. Now we're playing more better football. Andy Pepper's in the house. Good evening, all. Let's hope for a cracking result tomorrow and a bag full of goals. Mike is in the house. Even Hammer's curious to see if there's an away fan on tonight. Now, listen, I'll be brutally honest here. It's a lot of effort getting an away fan on, right? And I love doing it. I've been slacking a lot as of late, but that's a mixture of the fact that we've got a little baby here now as well. So I tried, but I never tried hard. I could have tried harder, and I was pretty sure if I'd have tried even harder, I would have got a fan on, and it would have made things a little bit better to give you the Kidderminster side point of view. But hey ho, that's just what happens. So apologies, Mikey. Howard, evening all. Come on, you Irons. Hope you're well. Patrick Walsh, good to see you. No away fan would be as cool as you, Mikey. That's true. No, it would not, mate. It would not. Here we go, lads. We're here. Aiden, morning Aussies. Evening, everyone else. Hope you're well. Evening, all you lovely people. And the beauty challenge also. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Yes, we are, mate. Good to see you. Well, it's all a bit weird, but evening, chaps and chapettes types. Let's not underestimate them. Yes, they're quite a big gap in quality, but it looks like they're eager to prove themselves in the cup time and time again. And that's a valid point, no, Mikey. It is. Adam is saying should win this 3-0, 3-1 at worst. And Neil's saying, I can't wait for the game tomorrow. Gets back to winning ways by playing a strong team with Zuma and Dawson at the back. We'll come on to that in a second. Modern Aiden, then the 23s have a massive game against Man United tomorrow, so I can see the kids in the squad. Jay is saying, hi all, come on West Ham. We have a good squad. Mikey was saying he was 3 years old when that match happened. I won't remember anything. I mean, if I'm going to give away my age here, but I was 11 when that happened as well. What were you, Matt?
That last game?
94.
4.
Oh, man. Come on. If we don't win this, we should be demoted. Daniela, at least 5. Vinay saying a Dawson hat-trick tomorrow. Dawson hat-trick of corners. Areola, first goal for West Ham. I get it, Anton. We're in the same boat. We are, mate. We are. Let's go on and talk about our beautiful club, and that is West Ham. Right, and we'll usually do, we'll go and have a brief look at what David Moyes said in the press conference. I did a show earlier on today, but we'll go and check and look and see what the gaffer had to say. So, Mr. David Moyes was a busy man, and the first thing he said today was the FA Cup is what it's all about. I've seen lots of signs of it. I've been to in winning teams and losing teams in different levels of the competition. You never know how the cup's going to go, but we're looking forward to the game. If we were at the London Stadium, it'd be a different situation to going away from home. Obviously, surroundings are not as big. The pitch might not be in a good as condition as we expect Premier League pitches to be, but everyone has been brought up at this level, and we have to show we can get to that level and perform. Now, these players at Kidderminster are going to have the game of their lives. They're going to try and perform to the level. And they always say, though, when you come up against higher level opposition, that some teams can raise their level for that one-off game. Absolutely. But like you said, mate, it's going to be a big shock to the system for some of the big boys turning up to the football stadium, going into the through the tunnel, into the dressing rooms, proper old school Sunday league dressing rooms, freezing cold, winter's day. And that can send the cockles up anyone, really, can it?
That's what it is like the big equalizer. That is the thing, It's going to be a tiny ground. It's not going to be London Stadium where you've got 30 yards or whatever from the frigging pitch to the stadium. It's be right on top of you. As I said, there's going to be a tense atmosphere. But that is the thing. Look, it's bobbly, uneven, maybe muddy / sandy pitch. It's not going to be up to that standard. The dressing room, like I said as well, is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
And that's what they need. That a team. Let's be real. For a team where they are in the 6th Division football playing a Premier League team, they need any sort of advantage they can get. So if they got the home tie against this bunch of players that some of them may not be used to it.
Mm-hmm.
If they've all grown up playing in Premier League academies, they may not be used to playing in horrible bumpy pitches. Some of them will. Someone like Bowen come up through the sort of ranks as well himself, so he might be used to it. But let be used to playing on a pitch like that.
I think these players will be fine anyway, but we'll come on to that in a second. Moyes on team selection. We went strong against Leeds. Our players are well rested, but we have a Premier League game in midweek, so it has to come into consideration. We've got to go there and get through in the Cup. To beat Leeds in the last round was very good, and we want to see if we can go through to the next round by meeting Kidderminster. I don't doubt for a second, mate, that he is going to have, and we'll talk about the team selection in a minute. But he does go on and he does talk about Antonio, who, of course, went on international duty with Jamaica. He says he will arrive back from Jamaica at 11 o'clock today. I think the biggest problem is that scheduling for all the games is really tough for the people doing it. The people who get affected are the players first and foremost. But if you're a club paying their wages, it's hardly correct that you get a player back at 11 o'clock on a Friday morning to play 12:30 on a Saturday. So you can pretty much guarantee he's not playing, mate, can't you?
Oh, absolutely not. No chance.
Yeah.
And Moyes probably frustrated with the fact that it's only really given him a couple of days to rest him before the Tuesday game.
Yeah.
He's had no rest whatsoever.
No.
And what's flown off to Jamaica for 3 games, scored 1 goal from the penalty spot. I think they lost all 3 games. They're bottom of their group. Like, they literally got no chance qualifying now. I know he wanted to play national football, but it's literally for him been like an entirely wasted, I don't know, what do you want to call it, experiment? Right. It has, sorry. He scored that 1 cracker, didn't he? I think whatever round of fixtures that was, and he scored a 30-yard for him. But for the most part, it's just, I don't want to say hampering him because he seems to be managing himself better, but it is like, it's not like he's playing for England and most of it's in Europe. He's travelling halfway around the world to play 3 games in a week for what is essentially a third-rate team. Right?
Yeah.
But look, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. So,
yeah. Well, it looks like he's going to continue doing it anyway because he's put a big statement up by saying they've not qualified for the World Cup, but looking forward to getting back out there and playing for the Reggae Boys again. So we're going to have a future of Antonio playing international football with Jamaica. He then goes on, Moyes, and speaks about Alex Kroll. It's a possibility, and this is in relation to him potentially coming in to start for the game. I look at the squad, the players are fresh, but I've also got to keep them fresh for the second half of the season. Alex been a bit unfortunate not to feature, but he had a period where he missed out a little bit with COVID and a period with more games. I'd like to give him an opportunity to see what he can do. Manu Lanzini has played particularly well. Alex is still getting used to the speed and the whole situation. We've said many times it takes some players time. Hopefully he'll get some football in the second half of the season. Do you think that's him speaking out now and saying that, yeah, we're going to expect to see Kroll start this game, and you may now have to start considering we never brought any more strength and depth within the squad, more players that we've not seen a lot of time on. I mean, let's not forget though, Matt, 15 Premier League games to go. Most of the squad is rested. From our understanding, we don't have any COVID victims currently. And the only player really to be injured is Augie. So with 15 Premier League games to go, the FA Cup to contend with and Europa League to contend with, is it as bad as what people are making out?
At the moment, no, it's not. However, as we've said from the start of the season, we are only a couple of goals. Sorry, we're only a couple of players away from injury for being a lot worse.
Yeah.
You know, it's what it is. Look back to November. Space of 3 weeks, I think it's about 3 weeks, we lost Creswell, Ogbonna, and Zuma. And we went on a horrendous run conceding goals. So it's not as bad if we can keep the players fit.
Yeah.
If Moyes can rotate, manage the squad, get a bit of luck of the green with injuries, then no, we should be all right. You know, there's 15 games left. You'd think the way Moyes plays, you expect us to win half of them. So say 7 wins.
Yeah.
That would put you on 58 points.
Yep.
Which is there or thereabout for the 60-point mark, which what you normally need around to get Europe. Slightly better than that, gets us a bit closer.
Yep.
So it's a delicate balancing act that Moyes is going to have to find for the second half of the season.
Certainly is, mate. It certainly is. Well, listen, let's get on to naming our starting 11. This is where it gets interesting. So if you are watching or you're not new around here, what we do is we ask you to put your starting 11 in the chat, and myself and Matt go across and start building the team who we think David Moyes will put out there tomorrow. So put it in the chat and let us know who your starting 11 would be. Right, Matt, let's get involved here and have a look at our potential starting 11 for tomorrow's game. Now, let's get on to the goalkeeper. This is probably going to be a very interesting one, considering we're coming straight after this game with a Premier League game. Last time out in the Premier League, our man Areola started because we believe Fabianski had COVID, and Areola did well. Now, is this going to be a telling game? Is this going to make a change? Is this going to be like if one of these keepers starts, the other one starts on Tuesday, or can you see the same keeper playing both games?
No, I think it's going to be one game, one the other game.
Right. Okay.
I think at least for the short term, Moyes will keep with the cup because we've still got a few cup games to come. So,
yep.
And unfortunately, I think it'll be Areola tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, mate. I'm going to put Fabianski there. If you are watching,
I don't want it, but
if you are watching in the chat, and you want to, give us your opinion, let us know who you think will be in goals tomorrow, Areola or Fabianski. Now, there's a difference here. You've got two options. You can give us your opinion, and then you can tell us what you think Moyes will do as well. But I do agree with Matt. I think he will resort back to putting Areola in goal. Let me see what everyone else is saying in the chat here. Mark Alexander is saying he wants Areola in there. Your countdown is saying it's time to switch. Fab now, Areola in the Prem. I mean, do you think he would do that, mate? You're obviously saying he doesn't think he'll do that, but we'll wait and see.
I put in the group chat the other day, didn't I? And I don't say Fabs is past it. The more time goes on now, the more Fabianski's reminding me of Jaskalainen at the end of his time with us. It's getting to that point now. Like, there's shots that he should be saving that he doesn't save. He doesn't come out and claim the ball. He doesn't give confidence to the defense. Doesn't give orders to the defense.
Yeah.
Right. He's a good shot stopper and he's got good reflexes when it's within reach of him. But outside of that, he's slowly now starting to be less and less reliable.
Yeah.
But I know it's a while back now, but I go back to that game that we lost to Leeds. And at the time, from the position I was sitting, the first of Harrison's goals, when he hit the shot, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's it. And then I see the replay, I see the game later on TV, like I see the highlights, and I'm like, no, Fabianski should have quite easily saved that. Like, it looked in the corner from where I was sitting, but if Fabianski had a springy dive on him, he would have comfortably saved it. But Moyes still liked Fabianski, and listening to Twitter's sphere of rumours, who knows what's happening with Areola. So,
well, you don't believe anything you read out there because all that was put out was all nonsense. Let's get into our formation, mate. Are we playing 4 at the back?
yes.
Right, let's bring it.
Playing more defenders than that.
Let's bring out our options that are available at the left back position. You've got Longello, who was subject to rumours for going to Nottingham Forest, but he has not left the club and is still with the club, which for me, I'm happy to see. Creswell is back and rearing to go, fully fit again. You've got Masuaku that's potentially available. You've also got the potential that Ben Johnson can perform at left back also. Now, with the left back position and those 4 players, who do you see starting in left back position, mate?
So we know Moyes is going to go semi-strong in his team.
Yeah.
But he's still going to need to rotate a bit because we were literally playing Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So for the left back, I've got Johnson.
You've got Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, let me bring him in here. Okay, let's put Johnson there at left back. Right, centre-half pairing. Is this the opportunity for Diop to come back into the team and show us what he's capable of doing? No?
No. I've just gone Dawson Diop. Sorry, I've just gone Zuma Dawson.
You've got Zuma Dawson as well? Wow.
Yeah.
What about everyone else
There'll
in the
be
chat?
kids in, but he won't. There will be kids in. I've got kids in this team. But
yeah, but
Diop, he will have a strong spine in the team still.
Yeah, you will do. But Diop's not a kid, though.
No.
I mean, that's you got.
Diop needs to take a little while out of the firing line.
Yeah, but is this not
the Man United game? Zuma and Dawson played very, very well. I think
they did, mate. But
they should have, in theory, they should have not a lot to do. So yeah, I don't see why they couldn't play 2 games.
I'm sorry, mate. I don't see, especially if the pit depending on the quality of the pitch. I don't see. I could be completely wrong here.
I've got Dawson on my bit of paper. I've got Dawson written, and I've got Zuma / Alessi. Diop's not on my bit of paper, not at all. So if you don't want to play Zuma, Alessi.
Yeah. Gosh. I mean, people here, Dawson, Moyes has hinted at resting a few. Dawson, Diop, not rest Zuma after injury and keep him for the next Prem game. I completely concur with you. The thing is, though, you're saying not play Diop, but will Moyes see it that way? And I really don't think he will, mate. I think it will be Diop and Dawson.
He's chopped it. He's already chopped it. So unless he's shown something in this 2-week break to give Moyes his trust back, it was quite evident that we lost the Leeds game, and he was absolutely shocking. And he was a defender that got subbed at the end, and then the Man United come round and he was dropped.
Yeah.
So, and we haven't had a game since. So, as I said, Moyes doesn't drop players or put them back in.
Again, though, respectfully thinking about the opposition, I mean, Diop has been our, he has been our kind of solid defender at the back. I mean, listen, Howard, I would love Alessi and Baptiste to start, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like, I know Matt's mentioned there, one may start. It'd be nice to see one of them start. I'm not going against Alessi starting. I'm just trying to go by what I think Moyes will do. And that's a big statement not to give Diop a start against Kidderminster, mate, in the FA Cup. Big statement. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll put the 2 of them up there just now, and we'll come back to them. Okay. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Right back.
I was unsure. I've got Fredericks or Ashby.
Okay, so I'm going to bring Fredericks across here. You've got Sufal, you've got Ashby as an option. I do expect some changes to be made into the team. However, I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes throughout this team. Sufal would be going full strength, but I don't see him starting the game, to be honest. That leaves Fredericks and Ashby. Fredericks is back and fit, and I was impressed with Ashby, but I think it's going to be Fredericks, mate.
That was my thing. I didn't know if he was fit, because you never know with Fredericks.
Yeah.
Like, you never know one week to the next. If Fredericks is fit, it'd be Fredericks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is then,
Yep.
if you see why I then said, like, I'd have maybe a Lessie in, because you've got what you'd recognise as 3 of your 25 and starting squad in your back 4, which would leave room for one kid, Alessi or Baptiste, either one, to play alongside Dawson.
Right, we'll come back to these lads. We'll come back to that in the defence. Let's move into the central of midfield. I mean, he was talking up Alex Kroll today, but let's bring out all the players who potentially could be in contention. I mean, I've not heard much, but I believe Mark Noble could be back and ready to rock and roll because he's not mentioned that he's out. And if he's not, what does that mean for West Ham?
I've got Crowell down in one of the 2 positions.
Yep.
And then alongside him, I've got Noble or Rice.
Noble or Rice?
Because I wasn't sure about Noble.
You what?
I didn't know if Noble was back and fit.
Yeah.
Because he has played them 2 a couple of times in the cup game.
Yeah. You know, Mark Alexander saying here, Fredrickson, Noble, Matt, Trevor Davis is saying our centre backs have a bit of to do dealing with Amari, Morgan Smith. I agree with you, Trevor, mate. I do agree with you. But however, you know, you would think that the quality should be able to deal with that. I don't want that's not me disrespecting the opposition, but it kind of is in a weird way as well. And I think he's right here. We need to beat Watford, and that will be in his mind. And I think that will be in his mind, mate.
Yeah.
We need. He also said as well in the press conference or the speech the other day, his bread and butter is the Premier League, mate. He said it.
Yeah.
And if his bread and butter is the Premier League, I'm telling you now, actually, do you know what? I have to pull Zuma out. I don't think Zuma will play, mate. I really don't.
Yeah, it's fine. As I said, though, I think it will be Dawson. If it wasn't him, I said Alessi, but equally it could be Baptiste.
Right. Okay. So
you know
central,
what? Even Creswell.
Yeah. Nah. You're not going to risk that, mate. You're not going to risk it. You're not going to risk it. If he does, and you're right, then don't know what I'll do. I'll do something, but I just can't see it, mate.
I was just saying that. I was saying that to the deal. No,
yeah.
I said he will rest some of the players. So, and he want to get some kids in.
Mm-hmm.
But even with this, I've only got like 2, and that one of them plays centre back.
Right.
So,
okay.
So West, put who you want in.
I never challenge you, mate. I never challenge you, mate. But on this occasion, I've had to challenge you on it. I've had to because I just don't see it. I think you know this. I think there's going to be a strong mix between. I don't know if there's going to be a strong mix between youth and the first team. But I think if you look at that, you know, you can't drop Diop. He's dropped him. I get it. Pulled him off against Leeds. Didn't start him against Man United, but he's been our cup central defender alongside Dawson and has been performing well. And we've got fullbacks back fitness now. So if Johnson can turn up and perform, he's going to give Diop another run out, mate. He's going to give Diop another run out. There's no way he's not going to play him over that. I would love to see Alessi. I'd love to see Baptiste play, but you know what? Maybe it's a bit of a risk here, but maybe you don't play Dawson because apparently he's playing with a knock. And if he is playing with a knock, then maybe you see Alessi come in alongside Diop or Baptiste, but I do think it's going to be Dawson, mate. I really do. You know,
I think Dawson. Well, he's with a knock, and he's had like 2 weeks off now. So
yeah.
But I think he's all right.
Right. Let's move further forwards in our team. Let's go to the left-hand side, mate.
Left-hand side, I have got Oko Flex.
You've got Oko Flex. I knew you would because I don't have a picture of him either.
Really? God,
really?
Yeah.
Right, come on then. Elaborate.
He will want to try and give 1 or 2 kids like a start in this game. Like he won't want to disrespect them. He won't want to go put out 11 kids, but he'll go for like 1 or 2 in the starting 11, a couple on the bench. And for me, I think we've seen a bit of Sonny Perkins, and we've seen Ashby, Alessi back. We've seen Longelo. We've seen the defence. The only 2 guys we haven't really seen is either Ekwa or Oko Flex, and he's the one that's been doing the business under 23s. So, and he's made the squad recently, hasn't he? He's been on the bench in Premier League games and hasn't had any chances to do it. So, I want to see him in it. hope Moyes does give him a run out, and hopefully he does something that gets him up the notch in front of Yarmolenko.
The thing is about Okoflex, right? The thing is about Okoflex that, and you mentioned there Equa. I mean, I think Equa looks like a top-notch player, but he's not really been in and around the squads as much as someone like Okoflex. But we do know that he can play out on that left position and he can cut inside, and that is obviously an exciting thing. I mean, is he going to give a young player a big position like that to start? I mean, I don't know. I would love to see it. And like you said, he is firing on all cylinders. Look, see that? Look at like magic. Okoflex is in the lineup there. But what do you think in the chat? Do you think? I mean, we're missing out on the fact that Ben Rama's back from AFCON and hasn't played for West Ham for a while. And I know he's been playing games, but he's not played for West Ham for a while.
But we've got Tuesday coming up, so
right, okay. Let's
probably be on the bench, won't he? But
let's keep Okoflex there. Let's go on the right.
I've got Vlasic, but I'm wondering if that's going to be too un-Moisey, and it'll probably end up being Yarmolenko.
Where is he? He is there. My only concern now, right, when you look at this midfield, is that there's not a regular first teamer in it. I know you've got Mark Noble. I know you've got Mark Noble, right? No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're going to say, mate. But I just think it's too wild, from. But let's go with it. Who are you committing to? Yarmolenko or Vlasic?
This is where I need your I want Vlasic. However, it would be very atypical Moyes to put Yarmolenko there.
Right, okay. Let's keep the two of them there just now then. Let's keep the two of them there. Right, up top and in the hole.
In the hole, we've got Lanzini.
Okay.
And then up top, we've got Bowen.
Okay. Now, I completely agree with you about Bowen playing up top there. I completely agree with that. I don't think Lanzini will start the game tomorrow because I think he's been firing on all cylinders. I think he's been playing great. I don't know if everyone knows, but him and his missus have just recently given birth to a new baby. And I think that they may use this as that extra rest time as well. And, he's been one of our main men in the Premier League. And like I said, David Moyes is stating all the time that this is the bread and butter. And I don't think you play Lanzini, mate. I really don't. And if there's anyone I think you may play in the hole, you may see Benny.
I don't think you play him,
or you may see Fornals.
See, I'm now worried. If you say Lanzini won't play there, my worst fear is now playing out in my head that Vlasic will play there
in the hole.
Which is nothing against Vlasic. I have no problem with Vlasic playing there, but it will move Vlasic in there and leave that hole open on the right wing for Yarmolenko.
Yep. What do you all think?
Because I look at Fornals and I think and Benny, and I think they'll be safe for Watford. You've probably argued he probably tries Lanzini. That saves most of the defense. I mean, realistically, if you look at that,
what about this?
You'd probably.
Yeah, but is this you talking or is this David Moyes talking?
I'm just saying, that looks like you've rested. You've still put out a strong team, but rested most of the players. They're not playing twice in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only one really would be Bowen. You probably have to play twice. I mean, he could put that team out. Masuaku just, the only worry I look at that team is that Masuaku and Yarmolenko don't offer a lot at all.
Yeah, mate. I honestly think Benny.
But that's got a very the Masuaku Yarmolenko's got a very Moyes written on it.
I'm moving Masuaku out of this equation just now, because I think that we may see Benny play tomorrow. I'll tell you why, and I'll justify why I think we might see Benny play tomorrow. He's been out playing in AFCON, and I think he's going to be a really important player for us moving into the second half of the season. I think he is a confidence player. I think he's massively a confidence player, and this is going to be a game that can test that confidence. And I tell you what, mate, if you can get a confident Benrahma performing, if West Ham are going to go on a route, let's just say, and I'm not going to get cocky with this, but let's just say West Ham going a route, like you said, we did a few years ago, and Benrahma can bag himself a couple of goals or assist a couple of goals, it's going to do a player like him the world of good because he's a confidence player. And I think there's a perfect time for him to play. I don't think if he turns up and he doesn't play well, that would affect him massively. But I think the risk that Moyes will take is, you know what, let's put Benny on and see what he's absolutely capable of doing on his day. And that's why I'm starting to think, like, you know, when you look at this, there isn't one of those youth players in there. The only other player I could potentially consider changing would be bringing Yarmolenko out, putting Vlasic out here, and bringing someone like Fornals in the middle. I mean, that's pretty strong, mate. It's pretty strong.
I was just trying to rest some of the first team players. That was all it was.
But when you look at that
you know
team,
what?
You're talking about.
It wouldn't surprise me if he put out like almost a whole first 11. Like it wouldn't surprise me.
But let's look at this team, mate. Bowen walks into the team. Okay. Benny's just back from AFCON, so we don't know if he starts. Fornals is back to what? Is he back to starting again? I mean, this is the thing. Like, going forward, we are pretty spoiled. So we've got options. This is me not including the players that we know that aren't going to play and the players that are, you know, I've got Lanzini here, but I don't think there's any need to risk someone like Lanzini. Whereas I think Fornals is younger and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, Mark is saying here, can't see Yarmolenko. Kidderminster away on a cold Saturday morning. Jonas saying, I think Rice or Souček will play and Benrahma. Masuaku and Yarmolenko, are you kidding me? Aspie for Yarmolenko. But honestly, mate, I mean, if you're not going to play Vlasic in games like this and give him some game time, it could be the same with him as well. It could be another confidence booster. But I think this is, as this point is making here from James, after the break, we need to give them respect by starting with the strongest team possible and prep for the next Premier League game. Controversial to some, maybe. Well, I do agree with that to a certain extent, but I think this is as strong as he may go. I mean, you're talking about Diop doesn't step into that team. So the back line, there's one starting 11 player there. Between Rice and Krul, there's no starting 11 player there. And you could questionably say from the rest of the four players, there's either 2 or 3 starting 11 there. So that's 4 starting 11. And I agree with this comment. We need to see some youth. But will he play the youth? I'm not sure, mate.
That's why I had Oko Flex. Because I was like, if you had just Oko Flex in there, that's only like one, should we say, one proper youth team. Because Ben Johnson doesn't really count as youth team anymore.
But what you've got with this is, though, you've got the ability to swap. And you may see the youth come on at that point, to be honest. But I know normally it's your starting 11, etc. But I honestly think this could be it.
I've genuinely got no idea.
I don't think anyone knows either.
No idea what Moyes is going to play.
Jonas saying no, he won't play the youth. We've got to give them both.
He won't play. He won't do a big Sam, right? Let's get that. Like, he's not going to go full 11 kids. But he does, like Moyes, as we all know, has a history. Go back to Everton of bringing the kids through the academy. You know, he had a mixture of great scouting, fantastic buys from weird places. You know, like when he got Fellaini in, and bringing kids through. So, do you have a safer bet of trying to start Oko Flex in a game against a team in the 6th tier of English football? Or would you bring him off the bench in a game in the Premier League with 20 minutes to go, when you're chasing the game, you need a spark, and you don't know if he's good enough? Like, it sounds like a safer option for Moyes to try 1 or 2 kids out in a cup game. But like you said, it might be maybe in the second 2-0 up, 3-0 up.
But let's be brutally honest here, mate. When was the last time you ever saw David Moyes make that decision of playing youth? Apart from that last game in the Europa League.
He has in other games, but like you said, it's not always been You know, when he's been forced, he had to bring Johnson in. He gave Ashby a run out, but like I said, it was cup games.
Yeah.
You know, if you go back to last season, the Carabao Cup at the start of the season was a mixture of kids. We saw Longjello and Ashby. He does do it. It makes a try, but again, equally, I said it wouldn't surprise me if he went full first 11 with Areola in goal tomorrow. Like, obviously, Antonio, we know Antonio won't play, but Bowen up top, Bryce Souček, Fornals, Ben Rama Vlasic or something, like, it wouldn't surprise me. Because it's just Moyes. Moyes keeps everything close to his chest. Moyes likes to be respectful. But then, like you said, he has mentioned Krause, so you think normally that does incline to the fact Krause will start.
No, that market certainly won't help him in the cold Kidderminster, Yarmolenko's heat map. Jonas saying he'll prefer Yarmolenko. Neil T's laughing out loud saying Yarmo has a heat map. Trevor Davis is saying Alessi might be okay with Dawson. This is the starting 11. I mean, I've kind of stole your pulpit at the moment and taken over your starting 11, mate. And this is the one I think. I mean, I don't normally do this, but it's good for me to sometimes get an opinion out there. And I'm going to go with this as a starting 11. But we've not been right, mate. I don't think we've been right once, to be honest, all season.
Full 11, no. So, I don't think full 11,
no. No, not at all. Not at all. It's going to be an interesting day though at the races against Kidderminster Town. I've dropped my light, so that's why I'm just trying to fix that. So apologies to everyone. Right, it brings us to that interesting time of the show where we're going to ask you for your predictions for the game tomorrow. So put them in the chat, and we'll go through them. Right, Matt, it's time for you to hit me with your predictions, mate.
It should the minimum should be like a comfortable 3-0. That's being respectful as a 3-0. Right,
okay. So you're going for 3-0?
Yeah.
Right. 12:30 in front of the cameras. BBC One, off the back of not a fantastic window. Squad morale is through the roof. They're all buzzing with life. I think it's going to play a reasonably strong side. It'll be good to see the likes of Benny back. It'll be good to see the likes of Vlasic hopefully turning up, playing against a team that are 112 places below us. Let's not do what we did against Stockport. Let's respect the opposition. But let's just try and get the job done. And I think this has got to be the difference. This has got to be what we do different to what we've done in the past, mate, is going and getting the job done. So, yeah, I would take a 3-0 win. Will we make it that easy? I'm not too sure. I'm close to agreeing with you. 3-1. I'll go maybe 3-1 West Ham. And maybe they'll get a goal and it will show, because we do leak goals, mate, and we probably might again tomorrow as well. This game should, from Mr. Mace, this game should be our priority, more important than Tuesday. We can't win the league, but we could win a cup. Why rest anybody for what? Maybe it's a generation thing. I get that. I'm just basing it on the fact that when David Moyes talks about in the press conference about, you know, the bread and butter, what is his bread and butter, and that's what he says the Premier League is.
Like I said, that team we put up should, if we put that team out that we put up, we decided on, that team isn't good enough to beat a team in the 6th tier of English football. None of them should play top flight football again.
Yeah. I mean, you've got
how many internationals is in that team?
Yeah.
There's international players in that team.
Yeah. Yep. Mikey's saying 0-0 at half-time, breakthrough minute, 47, full-time 6-0. That would be good, and I'll take that now. Jonas saying West Ham with 4-0 win. I hope Yarmolenko gets a hat-trick. Yeah, absolutely. That would fill him the world of confidence. Carl Collins is saying 3-1 West Ham. Wish one of our players would get a hat-trick. 8-0 to the mighty West Ham. Peak Ads is saying 1-0 to West Ham, international break hangover, squeaky bum win from a looping header from Craig Dawson from 40 yards out to emulate anything like Lee Chapman, although his was about 10 yards out. Mark Alexander Bones get a hat-trick to prove Moyes was right about not getting a striker. Yeah, it's a good point. They get a pen by Dawson. Neil T is saying 5-0 West Ham. That would cheer me up. James Bong is saying 4-1 West Ham, so long as we start with a strong team. I can see 3 youngsters in the squad. Carl's saying Bowen should have a great game. I see Bowen bossing the game. Yeah, I think he'll cause any team. He does absolutely keep them in, causes them problems. Man United versus Middlesbrough goes to extra time. We can't afford that tomorrow, but good. Long may they play more time and mini game time for the way they treat some of their players as well. So that really brings an end to our preview. It's short and sweet. We didn't know a huge amount. I feel kind of bad about the fact that we don't know a huge amount about Kidderminster, but yeah, that's just the kind of nature of what it does. We've done loads of videos today. Go and check out DJ Rossi B's quiz, FA Cup quiz, in preparation for it. We'll be live tomorrow for the Matchday Live, so tune in. We may be live about 11:30 or 12. It won't be any later than that, so keep an eye on the channel, and we will be going through that as well. Shay's saying, I can see Diop giving away a penalty, be dreadful recently. I'm worried about them kicking us in the bad pitch. Matt, perhaps they struggle to get motivated. Cheers, guys. Great show. Hope all the best. Cheers, Anton and Matt. Laters all. Come on, you Irons. And that brings it into our preview. FA Cup preview. Let's just get behind the team when we need it. And fingers crossed we can get through this round, keep the motivation going on, and move forward into the Premier League and start building and bringing up points. If you are keen to become a member, click the link to join. And thank you very much. Take it easy and come on, you Irons.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,